What's up everybody, Bootsy Greenwood here. How are you? I hope you're doing very well. My friend Jess asked me to make a video today, so I couldn't say no. I love you, Jess, you're awesome. I was at a wedding this past weekend, which was amazing. Definitely probably the best wedding I've ever been to. We all jumped into the pool with our suits and dresses on. I cannot wait to see those pictures, and I've never said that ever in my life about any event. So I really can't wait. I'm very excited. But the people who got married are very special people to me, and I would love it if you could go and check out some of their work. What I'm going to be doing in the future, at least I think, is working on more creative projects. I'm no longer really affiliated with the International Transurfing Institute. I'm not a certified instructor anymore. So I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I don't want to give it up too much just yet because I'm still working on some infrastructure and some different ideas about how this is all going to go down. In the meantime, I am accepting coaching clients. But if you guys would, please go check out dominarfilms.com and check out some of their work. Like them on Facebook if you can, and follow them on Instagram. I'll put a link to their website underneath the video so you can check it out. But they do feature films, music videos, all kinds of stuff. And I'm going to tell you what, they're incredibly brilliant, and they're as kind as they are absolute geniuses. So check that stuff out. It's really cool. In the meantime, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of this idea of pushing and sucking energy we're going to talk about today, okay? I'm starting to formulate things a little bit in my own terms, I guess. A lot of the LOA stuff, never really wrong with me, but transurfing stuff always did. Just make a lot of sense to me. And, you know, there's this weird quagmire where, like, and I was talking to somebody about, they were like, well, I'm trying to do the opposite of what I want so that I can get what I want. I'm like, I understand why you think that makes sense. That's not exactly how it works, though. We don't get what we want. We don't, because we want it. That's why we don't get it. But we do get exactly what we don't want. My dear Owen, how does this make any sense? I get it. It's super duper confusing. It doesn't make any sense. But maybe, just maybe, I can help shed a little bit of light on this. Because this confused the shit out of me too. Okay? Pardon me dropping S-bombs. It's Monday morning. I've had a long weekend. It was a crazy meeting last night too. So, let's say I want something, okay? Let's say I want let's go with the Tesla, all right? I want a Tesla, it's a big deal. So I start creating this desire for this thing. And it's like a bubble, okay? And I'm gonna call this, you know, plus desire, right? We're drumming up desire, right, for a certain thing. Now, here's what usually happens. We continue to get more excited about it, and we continue to focus on it and compulse about it, and we're adding mental energy to it, and eventually something's got to give. This bubble grows so big, it'll pop. So that's usually what happens. When we want something, we want it so bad that we push it so far away from us that we can never, ever get it. Now, let's say I don't want something, right? Say I actively don't want something. Like let's say I don't like dogs. Not true, love dogs. But let's say I hate dogs and I'm walking through a neighborhood and I'm thinking about how much I hate dogs, right? I'm gonna use this for fear, or less than, and the same thing's gonna be true. Boom, 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 boom. I hate dogs, I don't like them, I don't like dogs, I don't like dogs. This, the more I think about this, the more I add energy here, the more I am sucking, right? Like in the first example, the desire is pushing, right? This one is sucking. So the negativity, the fear, is sucking the thing directly toward you, okay? You are basically saying, you are basically resonating at the same frequency, right? As an angry dog probably at this point because you're so scared of them, right? So this bubble too can pop, and usually it will, but what let's get back just for a second to the other thing. Because, most of the things that we fear, we get over. We don't always get them, but we're more likely to get them. We see that phenomenon that we are more likely to get those things. Now let's go back to the desire one, this pushing energy, right? It's getting bigger and bigger. And here's what usually happens when we get something, right? Like this desire comes out for this thing, and we want it more and more and more. And then eventually we kind of get over wanting it, right? That's what like LOA and Hermetics talk about. In reality transurfing, it's drop importance from the beginning, right? So we know that we can have a strategy to work toward our goal. We don't have to go through this crazy process where we become obsessed and, just love the thing so much and it's so important to us and it's such a big deal. And then eventually what happens? We get bored with it. We want something else. The desire starts to shrink. It's less, it's less, it's less. Now we don't feel like it's a big deal to have that thing. We feel worthy. We're at equilibrium. Now we can have it. So with a fear example, when the bubble bursts, you get the thing. When in the positivity example, you blow up the bubble, it bursts, and it's gone. Like you push yourself so far away from that thing, right, that you just can't ever have it. You just won't ever be able to have it. And with equilibrium, which is where we want to be, is just a more neutral thing. It's not a place where we're polarized one way or the other, fearing or wanting something, right? And that's really the difference. Fearing or wanting is what we're talking about here. Deserving something is completely different. Allowing yourself to have the thing is different than desiring it. And I think we really get hung up a lot just on the idea of wanting the thing itself, right? So one thing I can definitely say is when you're thinking about something and it's something that is an object of your desire, it's not going to feel the way that it feels when you want it, when you have it, okay? What I mean by that is it has to already be a part of you for you to be able to get it, basically. Like you have to take it off the pedestal. It has to be accessible to you for you to attain it. And that's really all it's about. It's not that difficult even. Now there are some techniques that I'm working with some folks on, and I will share that kind of stuff. And there's one other thing I want to talk a little bit about too. That's a little bit along these lines. Okay. I said I'm not really working on the previous project that I was on that project for about 6 months. I was very disappointed how things went down, but I get to build my ship now. Okay, this is my ship. This is my goal. Here's me. Now, of course, I want to radiate positive energy at this, right? Positive energy and desire are not the same. What I'm saying, when I'm using those symbols, I'm just trying to show that one is pushing energy, right? And one is sort of more a vacuum, pulling energy, right? So that's all I'm trying to demonstrate there. One thing I want to talk about is building our own things, building our own ship. Here's me. I could be focusing on this, building it, scrubbing the deck, the poop deck, and polishing up the plank, and maintaining the sail and all that kind of stuff, and working on my goal. Or I could actively try and mess with somebody else's. This could be like my competitors, let's say, if there's a competitor, which I don't really view competition the same as most people. There are two types of competition. There's healthy and not exactly healthy. But I could take my energy and I could try and sabotage this boat, right? I mean, I could. But what's a more effective use of energy, right? The bubble's gonna pop. And what happens is this. I think it's better, of course, for me, because here's the other thing. Like, there's 45,000 other people building ships that are different, that are unique. Some are bigger, some are smaller, and they're all over the place, okay? Look at all these ships. And you know what these people are working on? They're working on their thing. They're not concerned with the competition. They're doing their thing their way, the way they do it. They're not tripping about anybody else who might also be, you know, in a similar thing. If there's competition is good. As far as like entrepreneurship and business, if there's competition in an industry, that means there's room, guys. That's what that means. If you're the only person in an industry, then it's probably not a very big industry. There you go. And that's just all there is for that. Now back to the bubble thing. Bubble is what? You guessed it, excess potential. That's what this bubble represents, okay? So the more we actively put our vision up, the more we actively try to, you know, attain some sort of dominance, let's say, or, you know, something like that, the more we grow our expectations really high for the thing that we're doing, our ship, the more we're creating excess potential, which will eventually pop. When we're working with our ship, we need to have pretty equilibrium, right? And what is that about? That's about outer intention. It's really about serving others. What do the people want, right? Like, you might want to be, you know, the biggest name in, I don't know, cosmetology. I don't know, right? You might want to be that. Maybe that's you. And that's cool. You can do that. You can become that, but you got to use outer intention to do it. If you try to do it yourself, if you try to sabotage other people's boats, push them around, dominate them, then you're really not even working on your own skill set. You're working on just pure, you know, negativity, to be honest. But this excess potential, this eventually pops, you know. All this excess potential that we drum up about our project, whatever that is, it will grow bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until eventually one of two things happens. You stop caring so much and it shrinks on its own, or it just gets so big that it has no choice but to pop. The best things to do: focus on ourselves, focus on our ship, focus on outer intention, and how to help people. You know, what do they want? What does the marketplace want? What are the people hungry for? You know, we can test that in a number of ways. And I think that people want to work in an environment that they feel safe in and to be creative. So I'm building something right now, starting to build it. It's really in its just development stages and brainstorming that will hopefully help with this. I want to create a community that's very positive and very helpful. And I think it's so funny, like, how silly it sounds to be like, I'm a coach, like, I want to coach you. And I'm just like, I want to roll my eyes every time I hear that word. But there's so much value in helping other people. We all need a coach. We all need a mentor or whatever. Other people. It takes a village, right? It takes a village. And that's very key. So I want to create a community where people can come in and we can help each other with creative projects. And, you know, of course we can talk about philosophy and stuff like that, but a very positive community that's really dedicated more toward, you know, assisting each other who are already transurfers, right? Be able to be more productive and creative and all those kind of things. Now, if you are new to transurfing and you're just finding out about transurfing through some of these videos, I recommend highly going over to the International Transurfing Institute on Facebook and being part of that group. Because if you're just learning transurfing, that's the spot to really soak up the knowledge. There's like almost 1,000 people in there, I want to say now. So, you know, unfortunately it didn't work out with us, but I gotta say, give them the recommendation that, yeah, as far as like learning the skill, everybody in there knows what they're talking about, and it's a cool community. I do miss it. But I'm going to start something a little bit different, just because I kind of have to be honest. And, and I want to too, as I sat around and had an amazing weekend, talking to some really high functioning creative people and amazing people, and asked them what they want, right? What is outer intention? What do people want? And, people want support, people want to share, and people want positivity. So, that's kind of where I see this ship heading, in that direction. And I'm planning on doing a bunch of stuff this week to kind of get it going. And I want to launch it as soon as possible, for sure. But I'm just not quite at the place where I need to be to. I still have some systems to figure out and such. But I just want to say to everyone out there, thanks so much for watching this video. I have a new meditation out on Gumroad about finding your spirit guide. That sounds pretty wackadoo. But it's a process that I personally went through, and it's been very helpful for me for a lot of reasons. Number one, if you have a spirit guide, then you don't have to take credit for your work so much. You can give it off and stay humble. That's why people accept a Grammy and they're like, I just want to thank God, because if we take on all of this credit, then that is a lot of excess potential through pride, arrogance, and that will definitely blow up in our face. So that's one huge reason why I personally have a spirit guide, not only to mention just the imaginary friend aspect. If I'm bored or I'm saying some weird stuff around the house, then, it's completely justified because G's with me. So that's up there on Gumroad. I've got a bunch of free stuff on Gumroad. Please check that out. There is more stuff coming and big announcements on the way. I just wanted to talk a little bit about this phenomenon because it's so confusing, right? Because the more you desire something, the more you push it away, but the more you fear it, the more it comes toward you. Why does that make sense? One's pushing energy, one's sucking energy, okay? And what we need to be at is equilibrium, allowing ourselves to have the least amount of importance, the least amount of excess potential. It doesn't mean we're a robot, we don't feel things. That's not what I mean. My point is that, and this, if you've ever desired something and then just kind of got tired of it and forgot about it, then it comes. Boom. There it is. Special delivery. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit and just kind of give you guys an update. Gumroad.com/Bootsy Greenwood. Find me on Patreon.com/Bootsy Greenwood. I need to be a little bit more active over there. I do realize I'm trying to do as much as I possibly can and pick up the pieces from all the past few months. So I'm going to try and read a book this week. I haven't done that in like 3 months. All right, so Gumroad.com/Bootsy Greenwood, Patreon.com/Bootsy Greenwood. Am I forgetting anything for now? No. Oh yeah, I am accepting coaching clients. I have some appointments and calls this week. Things are kind of filling up a bit, but if you are interested in working with me, send me an email, solutionsnotrevolutions@gmail.com, solutionsnotrevolutions@gmail.com, or hit me on Instagram or Facebook or wherever. It doesn't matter. At Bootsy Greenwood, all over the place. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. We'll see you next time.